I think as people, we are fascinated by other people. We're fascinated by faces. We're kind of obsessed with faces. If you look back at art throughout the eons, throughout the ages, throughout the generations, in all of human history, we are trying to recreate ourselves. We're trying to represent ourselves, even back to crude cave paintings. We're making images of ourselves in the best manner that we can, all the way up through these amazing granite marble statues that were carved through the Renaissance and ancient Greek times and all that. Paintings by Leonardo da Vinci. What do we have now? Well, maybe you could learn to paint, but that's gonna take a long time. Maybe. Or you could just finger paint. Maybe I should make a video about finger painting. Isn't that what we're really doing? We're just finger painting with a little more detail. So maybe you want to be a portrait photographer. Maybe that's the modern evolution of this thirst we have to capture our own image, or the images of the people around us, the people we see, the people we know, the people we admire, people we want to preserve. I could easily talk about this stuff for a long time. That could be a whole video. But instead, I'm just gonna give you 10 tips that I came up with. If maybe you have a hankering, an inclination, a desire to become a portrait photographer, this is what I would think about if I was starting over. Study light everywhere. Observe every room you walk into, every corner, every window, every arch, every doorway, every space. Look, that's how I discovered this bridge that I've done so many portrait sessions under, because I just kind of thought, ooh, I wonder what I could do down there. And I do that with every single room I walk into. So if you want to really be a portrait photographer, and really the kind of photographer that exists in the world and that can make a portrait anywhere in the world, in any place, you're always looking for spots. You're observing the light. You're seeing compositions. You must study light everywhere, in the car, on the freeway, when you're stuck in traffic, right? On a train, on an airplane, every room, every space. I think I've made my point. Next. I do a lot of traveling, and I always have a camera, and I'm walking around and I meet people, and I'm doing travel portraits and things, and I'm doing travel photography. Always, if it's a longer trip, I'll take one day towards the end and I'll just not bring a camera, and I'll be like, I'm taking mental pictures on that day. I'm saving them in the hard drive in my brain. And invariably, there's always something that comes up where I'm like, oh, I wish I had my camera, and you don't. And that's fine. That's totally fine. So the next tip is make mental portraits. Even when you don't have a camera, when you're having a conversation with someone, when you see someone standing on a street corner, sitting in a restaurant, make that portrait in your mind. Think about the focal length you'd want to use, the lens. Think about the framing, the position. Where's the light? Which way do you want them facing? Do all that work in your brain. I tell you what, any kind of photographer worth their salt, they can't turn that engine off. So if you want to be a portrait photographer, you need to begin using that muscle. Make mental portraits everywhere you go. Stop waiting for perfection. Use what you have. Use what you have. I think about this all the time. Last year, I was shooting portraits at a music festival, and it was a multi-day festival, so you get to know other people that are working there. And there was one of the vendors, this gal who was selling like clothing, I think. She came up to me and she was all excited, and she's like, Ben, check this out. And she had been making portraits on her iPhone, and she was stoked about them. And I looked, you know, she had a pretty newer iPhone, but she's using the portrait mode. Of course, it uses software to blur out the background and stuff. It's not a real lens. A lot of us that use real cameras, we look down our nose at iPhones, but this gal wanted to make portraits. She was meeting all kinds of cool people. She was not letting the fact that she didn't have a legit camera get in her way. And you know what? She was making some pretty cool portraits. There was a lot of emotion there. There was a lot of character. She had relationships with these people. Her enthusiasm informed the photos. It didn't matter that she didn't have the best tool available. I will tell you this, when I was first starting out, especially being a filmmaker and trying to learn photography and filmmaking, I didn't have any cameras. I was begging, borrowing, everything that I could. I was asking for favors. I was getting my hands on whatever tools I could. And maybe it wasn't the best thing, but I used it, and I used it as hard as I could. And that's what you need to do. So you definitely know somebody with a camera if you don't have one. You definitely know someone with a better lens. Borrow, rent, use your phone, do whatever it takes to start getting the reps in. Don't wait for perfection. Don't wait for the perfect gear. Use what you have. Make what you can. Next. Really simple, master the window light. The window light. Soft light, hard light, direct light, backlight. Window light is amazing. It's just like a big soft box, or you know, maybe it's not a soft box. Maybe the sun is shining through at a harsh, at a low angle, and it's super bright, whatever. Master window light. It will teach you so much that when you step up to real lighting, constant lighting, strobe lighting, whatever, you can always relate it back to window lighting. Again, use what you have. If all you have is a room with a window, fine. See what you can make with that. Some of my favorite portraits of all time have just been people sitting next to a window, and that's true for so many photographers. I think at some point you've got to stop obsessing over the screen on the back of your camera. You know, it wasn't too long ago cameras didn't have screens because they used this stuff called film. Some people are still using it, myself included at times, but we didn't always have screens, and we didn't always know what we were getting until much later. So my big piece of advice would be to, if you do get your hands on a real camera, a digital camera, stop worrying about the screen. You know, use the thing enough to where you know where the buttons are, what you need to do. There's only a couple things you need to know. You need to know how to set the iris. You need to know how to set the shutter, the white balance, the ISO. What else do you really freaking need to know to do a portrait? Not a whole heck of a lot. Stop worrying about the screen. You've got exposure metering in the viewfinder here. Fine, you know you're getting a pretty approximate exposure. You kind of know what you're getting. Stop looking at the screen. Focus on the person in front of you. Let the camera become an extension of your body and your mind. And yes, this takes practice, but it's something that you need to think about. Stop doing this all the time. Every time you look away, every time you look down, you're breaking that connection. We're definitely going to talk about connection. Maybe you want to be a portrait photographer and you're just wondering, how do I find people to shoot? Well, you definitely have friends and you definitely have family. So shoot the people you love. Shoot the people you know. Start there. I certainly did. And you know what? The people you know and the people you love, they know other people that you don't know. And they're going to share the work that you've made with them. And then those other people are going to reach out, and it's going to just snowball. And pretty soon, you're going to have a lot of people to shoot. And that's just how it works. So start with the people you love. Duh, right? Start with your grandma, start with your uncle, start with your niece or your nephew, start with the cool dude that works at the coffee shop down the street, whatever. Start with the people you know and love. Speaking of connection, learn to match frequency, or just as important, learn to tune your own frequency, right? Good portraits are about the connection between the subject and the photographer. I believe that. And in order to have a connection, you've got to align your frequency. You've got to be vibrating at a complementary frequency. You don't necessarily have to be playing to the same rhythm, right? Like a good song, there can be different rhythms going on, different speeds, different tempos. Even within a song, it can be that way with photography. It is about energy. It is about vibration. It is about connection, right? And this is an intangible thing. It's not something you can see, but you can definitely feel it, and you can see the result of it later in the photograph. So learn to match frequency with your subject. Learn to vibrate at the same or a complementary rhythm. It's very, very important. If you're doing an extended session, you've got to create a safe space, and you've got to be okay with silence. A lot of times early on, there's nervous energy. There's nervous energy from you, and if you don't get that under control, the other person can certainly feel it, and that goes back to matching frequency. But on top of that, there will be natural silences, and create a space that's safe, that's okay to have that. Honestly, in those pauses, those breaks, we're all feeling things. The subject is gonna feel something, you're feeling something. You don't need to fill up every single silence and every single moment with chatter, with this, with that. It's okay. Get comfortable in your own skin, create a safe space, and learn to accept and be okay, and even cultivate a nice silence. Sometimes you just have to let things develop, to form, to grow. You have to feel things. All this stuff is so intangible, undefinable. It's felt, but it's not easily articulated. I'm trying to give you some little nuggets. And in these nuggets, it's not the whole answer, but hopefully it'll take you down a road and it'll get your brain thinking next time you're out or when you do go out. The best work comes from a sense of play, right? It's like when you're a kid, everything's fun, everything's a game. You're not as attached to results. You can experiment. Hey, what are you doing? I don't know, this is what I'm doing. Okay, yeah, it's a game. So learn to play. Don't wring the life out of things so tightly. Be loose, be relaxed. Yes, this comes with experience, but you can go into things with that spirit, that childlike energy of play, and it will make all of your work better. So approach every job with, yes, professionalism, but with a sense of play, discovery, wonder, amazement, humor, fun. Play. The last tip that I think is going to be really good for you is to print your work. Back when I first had a camera, you would take your film down to the store and a couple hours later you'd get prints back, right? And that's what you had. It wasn't on a phone, it wasn't on a hard drive. I didn't have a computer, didn't know how to use computers. But you would get these little 4x6 or 5x7 prints of all the pictures you took. So my suggestion is take your best shots and print them. It's really inexpensive. You can do it online. There's definitely places you can go to a drugstore. You can do it right on the spot. In some cases, bring a thumb drive. You can upload things from your house. You can just drive down the street and pick them up. It's pretty easy nowadays to do inexpensive printing. And you're gonna learn so much, and you're gonna sit with the work in a different way than just looking at it on your screen. So I just think if you wanna start off being serious about portrait photography or any kind of photography, just get in the cadence and the habit of printing your work. It's going to make you better. You're gonna see flaws, you're gonna relate to things differently. It's different, man. It's different. I can't explain it. We react to physical objects differently than we do to little diodes of light beaming into our brain. We're made for the physical. And I believe that. So you can capture things digitally, but this is just where it starts. Print your best work. Keep it around, look at it, live with it. I think I've made my point. Hey, if you've got any good tips yourself, that maybe I missed. And these aren't all the tips, these are just the first 10 that I could think of. Maybe I'll do this again, but if you've got some good tips, some comments, whatever, leave them down below. I appreciate you watching. Stick around. We got some good stuff coming up here on adventure and art. Thanks for watching.